There is a moment in football when a player steps onto the biggest stage in the world and the entire planet stops to watch. Today, in Atlanta, Georgia, that moment belonged to an 18-year-old boy from Barcelona, Lamine Yamal. 18 years old, playing in his very first World Cup start. And within 11 minutes, he had already scored. Spain 4, Saudi Arabia 0, and it was not even close. But the scoreline is not the story. The story is Lamine Yamal, and why, after today, the entire world of football is talking about one teenager. Let me break down everything that happened, right now. Before we get into the match, you need to understand who Lamine Yamal actually is. Because if you are new to football, you may not have heard his name yet. But trust me, by the end of this World Cup, you will never forget it. Lamine Yamal was born on July 13, 2007. That means he turned 18 years old just 11 months ago. He is younger than most high school seniors in America. He plays for Barcelona, one of the most famous football clubs in the world. The same club that produced Lionel Messi. The same club that produced Ronaldinho, Xavi, Iniesta. Some of the greatest players in the history of football. And right now, at Barcelona, Lamine Yamal is the most exciting young player on the planet. He plays as a right winger. He is fast, he is direct, he has a magical left foot, and he has absolutely no fear. None. He will take on any defender, any goalkeeper, any situation. Last season for Barcelona, at 17 years old, he scored 17 goals and made 27 assists, numbers that most professional players never achieve in their entire career. He did it at 17. But coming into this World Cup, there was a worry. He had suffered a hamstring injury. He missed training. He only played the last 19 minutes of Spain's first match against Cape Verde. Spain drew that game 0-0, one of the biggest shocks of the tournament so far. Could Yamal be fit enough to start against Saudi Arabia? The whole world was watching. The answer came before most fans had even settled into their seats. 11 minutes. That is all it took. Now let me tell you about Spain, because to understand why this result matters, you need to understand what happened in their first match. Spain are the reigning European champions. They won Euro 2024. They are ranked number 2 in the world. Under coach Luis de la Fuente, who celebrated his 65th birthday today, Spain have been one of the most exciting attacking teams in international football. But in their opening World Cup match against Cape Verde, they were terrible. 0 goals. 0 shots on target in the first half. Completely uninspired. And a 0-0 draw against a team ranked 64th in the world. After that performance, people were questioning everything. Were Spain actually good enough? Was Yamal too injured to make an impact? Could Spain really win the World Cup? Today, against Saudi Arabia, Spain answered every single question. The match started at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, and Lamine Yamal was involved from the very first second. His first touch, a teasing run down the right wing, had the Saudi Arabia defense scrambling. Within the first 10 minutes, Spain had created 4 chances. Saudi Arabia could not deal with the pace and movement of Yamal and Oyarzabal on the flanks. And then, 11th minute. Mikel Oyarzabal received the ball on the left side. He drove towards the penalty area. He played a low, fizzing cross towards the back post. Lamine Yamal, arriving at pace, poked the ball home on a tight angle, past the goalkeeper, into the net. Goal. Spain 1, Saudi Arabia 0. Lamine Yamal had scored his first World Cup goal, on his first World Cup start, at 18 years old. And here's the incredible historical fact that makes this even more special. Lamine Yamal is only the second player aged 18 or younger to open the scoring in a World Cup match. The other player who achieved this? Pelé, for Brazil against Wales in 1958. Pelé was 17 years old. Let that sink in. The only teenager to do what Yamal did today, in the entire history of the World Cup, was Pelé, the man many consider the greatest footballer who ever lived. Yamal is being compared to Pelé, at 18 years old, on his first World Cup start. After the match, Yamal told reporters, "I watched the last World Cup in class at school, and now I am scoring in a World Cup. It is a dream." The stadium in Atlanta erupted, and the rest of the first half only got better. 21st minute, Spain broke forward again. Oyarzabal received the ball at the back post after a scramble in the penalty area. He poked it home. Spain 2, Saudi Arabia 0. 2 minutes later, 23rd minute, Oyarzabal again. This time a more deliberate finish, turning the ball past the goalkeeper from close range. Spain 3, Saudi Arabia 0.
3 goals in 13 minutes. All before the 25th minute, Oyarzabal became only the first player on record since 1966 to score 2 goals and assist another in the opening 25 minutes of a World Cup match. And then, at halftime, Spain made a stunning decision. They substituted both Yamal and Oyarzabal off, resting their 2 best players with the score already 3-0. That is the confidence of a team who knows they have won. That is the confidence of a team who knows they have bigger games coming.
The second half began. Spain, without Yamal and Oyarzabal, were still dominant. Saudi Arabia had been completely broken by the first half. In the 49th minute, Spain won a corner. Marc Cucurella, the left back, hit a powerful volley towards goal. The Saudi goalkeeper made the save, but the ball ricocheted off Saudi defender Hassan Al-Tambakti and into his own net. Spain 4, Saudi Arabia 0. Own goal. Al-Tambakti. The match was completely over. Spain continued to create chances. Ferran Torres thought he had scored a 5th, turning the ball home in stoppage time after a brilliant team move. But VAR reviewed the goal. Offside, by the narrowest of margins. Goal ruled out. Final score, Spain 4, Saudi Arabia 0. Spain are top of Group H. Saudi Arabia dropped to the bottom. Now, the historic records that were made today, because this match was full of them. Record 1. Lamine Yamal, 8th youngest scorer in World Cup history. At 18 years and 343 days old, he became the 8th youngest player to ever score at a World Cup. Only one teenager in history has opened the scoring in a World Cup game before him, Pelé, 1958. Record 2. Oyarzabal, 2 goals and an assist in the opening 25 minutes. The only player on record in 60 years of data to achieve this in a World Cup match. Record 3. Spain, 3 goals before the 25th minute, one of the fastest starts to a World Cup match in the modern era. Now the player ratings. Number 1, Lamine Yamal, 10 out of 10. He played just 45 minutes. He scored 1 goal. He created constant chaos for the Saudi Arabia defense. Every time he received the ball, 3 or 4 defenders immediately surrounded him. That created space for everyone else. His goal was composed. His movement was intelligent. His confidence was extraordinary for an 18-year-old. If he stays fit, he will be the player of this tournament. The comparisons to the young Messi are not exaggerated. Number 2, Mikel Oyarzabal, 10 out of 10. 2 goals in 2 minutes, an assist for Yamal's opener. He was taken off at halftime with the game already won. But in 45 minutes, he delivered one of the most complete individual half performances at this World Cup. After heavy criticism for his performance against Cape Verde, he responded with everything. Number 3, Rodri, 8 out of 10. The Manchester City midfielder controlled the game completely from the center of the pitch. His passing was precise. His positioning was perfect. He allowed Yamal and Oyarzabal the freedom to create by making sure Spain never lost the ball in dangerous areas. When Rodri plays like this, Spain are almost impossible to beat. For Saudi Arabia, their goalkeeper Mohamed Al-Awais made several good saves in the first half, but was completely overwhelmed by Spain's movement and pace. Their defensive shape collapsed within 10 minutes. Now, what does this result mean for Group H? Spain are now top with 4 points from 2 games. Their final group match is against Uruguay, who are currently second with 4 points after their win over Cape Verde today. Spain versus Uruguay, in the final group game, could decide who tops Group H. Both teams have 4 points. Both teams are through to the knockout rounds. but top spot means a potentially easier path in the round of 32. For Saudi Arabia, they have 1 point from 2 games. They need to beat Cape Verde in their final match to have any chance of advancing. Now, the biggest question. Can Spain win the 2026 FIFA World Cup? Before this match, there were serious doubts. The Cape Verde draw had shaken confidence. Yamal's fitness was uncertain. After this match, Spain looked like genuine title contenders again. Here is what makes Spain so dangerous. They have Yamal, who might be the most naturally gifted teenager in the history of the sport. They have Oyarzabal, clinical, composed, world-class. They have Rodri, the best defensive midfielder on the planet. And they have a system, the passing style known as tiki-taka, that no team in the world plays better than Spain. But here's the honest truth. Saudi Arabia are not Brazil. They are not France. They are not Argentina. The real test for Spain comes in the knockout rounds, when they face the elite teams. Can Yamal perform like this against Brazil? Against France? Against England? After what I saw today, I believe the answer is yes. This is not just a good young player. This is a generational talent. A once-in-a-decade footballer who comes along and changes everything. In 1958, a 17-year-old Pelé announced himself to the world at the World Cup. He won that tournament and became the most famous footballer in history. In 2026, an 18-year-old Lamine Yamal just announced himself to the world. The question now is, can he follow in Pelé's footsteps all the way to the final?
On the Vortex pitch, we break down every match, every goal, every record, and every big moment of the 2026 World Cup. In simple English, for fans exactly like you. Subscribe right now. Hit the notification bell. New video every single day of the tournament. See you in the next one.